Hello everybody and welcome to Cambridge Global English Book 5. We are going to start with Unit 7. So U stands for Unit, L stands for Lesson. So U7L1 means Unit 7 Lesson 1. And this is going to be our code for all the videos. Seven, Ancient Civilization. Kindly prepare your learners' books at pages 96-97 and your activity books at pages 76-77. Remember, this recording is for all levels. I also recommend that you pause the video and prepare your things and then come back to me. Lesson objectives. These are the things we need to learn in this lesson. We're supposed to listen for information, listen and match, read about ancient buildings, complete notes and sentences. We are going to get some grammar and vocabulary. Let's start with the vocabulary.
Amphitheatre, amphitheatre, amphitheatre. It is a large open area surrounded by rows of seats sloping upwards. They were built mainly in Greek and Roman times for the performance of plays. Look at these photos.
Okay, now here I want you to look at this. Here this word amphitheatre ends with RA because this is a British English spelling. If you are writing American spelling, it's gonna be ER, not RA. Remember also that the PH is just said like F. So amphitheatre. If you are speaking American, you can say it as the. Alright, so this is also the transcription or the pronunciation of the word.
Tomb, tomb, tomb. A tomb is a place where people are buried that is above or underground and that usually has a sculpture or other decoration on it. You can say it's a large grave. Okay, the word tomb here, you see that we don't say the B sound, so it's tomb. Alright? Preserve, preserve, preserve. If you preserve something, you take action to save it or protect it from damage or decay.
Liver, liver.
Okay, so now we are going to take some human organs. Alright, because we will need to know these human organs, and by the end of this lesson you are going to have homework, so just concentrate on this. Here if you look at the liver, of course you are going to say the R if you are speaking American, but the British people won't say it. Liver. Stomach, okay, and this is the stomach. We also have heart, and this is the heart. Also we have lung. You can say it nasal from the nose. If you say it from the nose, you can drop the G, so you say lung. Now everybody, focus on the photos. Do you know these buildings, where the buildings are, and who built them, and what for? I recommend that you pause the video. Yes. Pause the video, start speaking to a friend or to one of your family, or you can record yourself talking about these buildings. If you know them, what you know about them, who built them, where they are, anything you know about these buildings. And then you come back to me. All I want in this activity is that you speak. I want you to speak and express yourself. Thank you. Now, to get some information, watch these videos to help you answer the questions.
The Great Sphinx of Giza is the largest monolithic statue in the world, standing over 20 meters high and 73 meters long. It is one of the world's oldest statues, but basic facts about it, such as when it was built, and by whom, are still debated. It is commonly believed to have been built by ancient Egyptians of the Old Kingdom, during the reign of the pharaoh Khafra, well over 4,000 years ago. However, some argue that original statue predates the Old Kingdom period, and the human face was added much later, after the initial construction. It is not known by what name the creators called their statue. The commonly used name Sphinx was given to it during Classical Antiquity period, due to its resemblance to a Greek mythological beast.
In the city of Rome stands an ancient stadium, the largest amphitheater ever built. Once the home of battling gladiators, staged sea battles, and reenactments of ancient myths, today it is a tourist attraction and an icon of ancient Rome. Although partially ruined, it has endured for nearly 2,000 years. Originally called the Flavian Amphitheater, it is now known around the world as the Colosseum. Construction began on the Colosseum in 72 AD under the direction of the Emperor Vespasian. Built by thousands of slaves and made of stone, bricks, and concrete, once complete, it could seat 50,000 people. It was 620 feet or 189 meters long, 512 feet or 156 meters wide, and 158 feet or 50 meters tall. That's as tall as a 12-story building.
Aqueducts are not that complicated in theory. That is that water seeks its lowest level, and therefore that you can run water down a slope from any area to another area. So that's a pretty simple premise that everybody would have known. But the practice of creating an aqueduct is another thing.
The Romans engineered their aqueducts to approach the city on a gradual declining angle, or gradient. That gradient was just several inches every 100 feet.
The slope of the aqueduct had to be calculated from great distances, 20, 30, sometimes even 40 miles, from the source in the mountains to the cities themselves. That had to be consistent. They couldn't deviate from it, regardless of what the terrain was.
To maintain the water's precise descent through high mountains, Roman engineers dug perfectly angled tunnels through them. When the pipelines reached low valleys, they were elevated on stone walls. If the walls needed to be higher than 6.5 feet off the ground, the Romans saved building materials while still adding strength by perfecting an ancient engineering concept, the arch.
The arch revolutionized architecture in the ancient world by permitting far greater spans than had been allowable before. They basically changed the spatial conception totally of Roman architecture.
Arches were built around a temporary wooden framework that held each stone in place until the keystone was laid in the center. The keystone evenly distributed weight down each side of the arch, allowing builders to stack additional stones above it.
Arches are improvement upon building just a straight wall in a variety of means, both in terms of their efficiency and in terms of their strength. The arch, of course, takes much less material to build. Arches are very strong at supporting things like roofs and aqueducts and whatever you want to put on top of them.
A 6-mile column of arches carried the Aqua Claudia across the valleys on its way to Rome.
The aqueducts would have had a covered roof, but of course if you could take the roof off, you could see the water like an open river coming down towards the city.
After reaching the city, each aqueduct emptied into 3 holding tanks. One for the public drinking fountains, a second for the public baths, and a third reserved for the emperor and other wealthy Romans who paid for their own running water, a concept that was well ahead of its time.
Basically, every home by the 1st or 2nd century AD of any means had running water.
Now, after you watch the videos, I want you to pause it. To pause the video, this recording, and try to match the names with pictures. For example, the Colosseum, which picture is the Colosseum, the Sphinx, the pyramids, and aqueduct, and then come back to me. Now, you are going to listen to 2 children talking about these buildings. All I want you to do is to listen to them carefully, and then you are going to check your answers, the ones you did when you were pausing the video.
Track 39. 1.
There's lots of information about ancient Egypt on this page. Look, it says that ancient Egypt was one of the greatest civilizations of the past. Egypt is in northeast Africa, and the ancient Egyptians lived on the banks of the River Nile. It says here that the pyramids were the stone tombs of Egypt's kings, the pharaohs.
2.
Look, here it is. It says it's a huge stone sculpture of a creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human. It is believed that the Great Sphinx of Giza guarded the tomb of the king from tomb raiders.
3.
In ancient Rome, they had some incredible buildings. It says that as cities got bigger in ancient Rome, fresh water was a problem, and people started to die because they were drinking dirty water from the rivers. So they started to build long stone channels called aqueducts to carry clean water from the hills nearby to the towns.
4.
Amphitheatres were places where the Romans went for entertainment. They had a central stage with rows of seats around it. They are quite similar to a modern football stadium. People used to watch fights between gladiators and wild animals, such as lions and bears. Look, this was the largest amphitheatre in the Roman Empire, the Colosseum.
Now with exercise 3. Here you are going to read the sentences. I want you to read them first. I'll try to match them with the pictures. Do this for yourself. It's kind of silent reading, you know. I know it's a listening exercise, but let's start with this. I want you to read. Read for yourself. Try to match the sentences with the pictures, and then come back to me. Now you are going to listen again and check your answers.
Track 39. 1.
There's lots of information about ancient Egypt on this page. Look, it says that ancient Egypt was one of the greatest civilizations of the past. Egypt is in northeast Africa, and the ancient Egyptians lived on the banks of the River Nile. It says here that the pyramids were the stone tombs of Egypt's kings, the pharaohs.
2.
Look, here it is. It says it's a huge stone sculpture of a creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human. It is believed that the Great Sphinx of Giza guarded the tomb of the king from tomb raiders.
3.
In ancient Rome, they had some incredible buildings. It says that as cities got bigger in ancient Rome, fresh water was a problem, and people started to die because they were drinking dirty water from the rivers. So they started to build long stone channels called aqueducts to carry clean water from the hills nearby to the towns.
4.
Amphitheatres were places where the Romans went for entertainment. They had a central stage with rows of seats around it. They are quite similar to a modern football stadium. People used to watch fights between gladiators and wild animals, such as lions and bears. Look, this was the largest amphitheatre in the Roman Empire, the Colosseum.
Okay. Now we are going to take some verbs to express our personal belief. Think, know, and believe.
In which situations can we use the phrases, I think, I believe, I know? To express opinion use, think. The knowledge you own use, know. And your personal belief use, believe.
Yes, as you heard, we are going to use believe for something that is true, correct, or real. Think to have an opinion about something, or if you are not very sure, and know for if you have some information. We can use these three verbs in negative form. For example, we can say, I don't believe in Gus. I don't think she will pass the exam. I don't know his phone number. If you are not sure about something, it's something which can't really be known. In English, we use think, which is a little uncertain or not very sure. Believe means very certain or very sure. For example, you say, I think about 40 people will be there. I think about 50 people will come. I think it was about 4 years ago. Yes, I think so. No, I don't think so. I think that's right. I think that's not right. I don't think that. Okay, so you think this way. Here, this is on page 97. You are going to please look at the use of English box and match the sentences halves for you. I said for you. Why for you? Because it's up to you. There is no incorrect answers here. Whatever you say is correct. All I want you to do is to use think as a little uncertain, believe as very certain, and know as if you have information. For example, you can say I think that. You can say I think that this thanks God in the tomb of the king. If you are a little unsure, not sure. If you say if you know how you really know that this is true, you can say I believe this thanks God in the tomb of the king, or I know this thanks God in the tomb of the king. It's up to you, and then you are going to use it with the three ABC sentences, right? So pause the video, do this, try to use the language, and then come back to me. Okay, now we reach exercise 6, where to study ancient objects and buildings. So this is in your learner's book, page 97. I want you to look at the pictures and the definitions. Also, you have 6 pictures and 6 definitions. All I want you to do is to read the definitions very well. For example, I'm going to do the first one for you. This is where Romans liked to wash and bathe. Which one do you think? Which picture? A, B, C, D, whatever. Okay, and of course it's letter D. It's the Roman bath. Now you are going to pause the video, answer all of them in your book, and then come back to me to check your answers. Now we are back. B is going to be for a slave, which fought against wild animals, and an amphitheater. Number 3, the numbers used by Romans didn't have 0. 0 is Arabic numerals, and we talked about this before, that the Arabic numerals are these ones. These are Arabic, Arabic. But the Roman are these. Okay, so the answer is F. Let's go to 4, 5, and 6. Let's go to the next. Now, please open the other book, your activity book, page 76. Okay, exercise 1. All right, ancient Egypt and Rome. Here you are going to complete the sentences about the ancient civilizations and then match each one to a picture. For example, number 1 is done for you. You say the pyramids were the tombs of the Egyptian pharaohs. And of course, it's going to be picture A. Let's go to 2. A, fought against wild animals. Yes, the gladiator. Number 3, people paid in the Roman. Yes, pass. All the organs except the heart of the dead pharaoh were put in what? In Canabija. All right, let's go to 5. Romans watched shows in an amphitheater. All right, let's go to a preserved body. It's called a mummy. Transported the fresh water to the Roman city. What is that? An aqueduct. Okay, so what guarded the tomb of the pharaoh? Yes, the Sphinx. And the Roman used what for write numbers? They used the Roman numerals for writing numbers. Okay, so now let's go. Now you are going to read this text and then answer the question. This is the same type of a question 1 and your test. So you are going to watch silently for yourself, try to understand the text, and then come back to me to see the answer. Welcome back. So here in 1 we say Maya thinks that the pyramids are amazing. If you look here, you will see it's written, or it's already written here. The pyramids are amazing building. So this is what Maya said. What Maya said is that the pyramids are amazing buildings. So whenever I tell you that Maya thinks, you are going to write that the pyramids are amazing. We are going to go on like this. She knows that. Here she says they were built as royal tombs for the kings in ancient Egypt. So the answer is going to be they are the tombs of the kings in ancient Egypt. I want you to write them in your activity book. So next, archaeologists now. This is the same line here. So they know that it took hundreds of the men about 20 years to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. Let's go to 4. Maya believes, she believes that the paintings on the walls must be very interesting to see. You should know answer the last one and check the answer here. She knows that she would love to visit the pyramids one day. Okay, now go to your activity book, page 77, exercise 3. This is a kind of a challenge. You are going to look at the hieroglyphic symbols and write words and hieroglyphs for your friends, for your family to guess how you are going to do this. For example, here it's my name, Hamed, so the H here is going to be this symbol, and the A is going to be this symbol, and the M, of course, it's here, and the D here, So my name is going to be like this. So we took them here. So my name is going to be like this. All I want you to do now for home fun is to try to write your name, write the name of your family, whatever. So you just try to exercise this for fun. Okay? I want you for homework to match these pictures with the vocabulary. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.